Hello and welcome to today's broadcast. Today we are going to be talking about vanity weight versus reality weight, and which weight is the weight that we should be focusing on, and how do we determine which one is which for us. So welcome if you're joining us live. I always love when you can catch us live, but I also love it when you catch us on the rebroadcast as well, which is why we post these on YouTube and Facebook after we end our live broadcast. Always feel free to come back around and leave your comments and questions for me. I always go back and review them. And then if you wouldn't mind also hitting that like button when you pop into either the rebroadcast or the live, so that I know that you're interested in the topic of conversation that we have today. I always like to take a second to just quickly introduce myself. My name is Diane. I'm the creator of the online course and community, Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman. And this is where we all come together as aging women and discuss some options that we have to really change some of the things that we have been doing in our lifestyle, so that we can create a lifestyle that allows us to look and feel our best and live our most authentic life. That is the ultimate goal that I have for all of us as aging women. So like I said, please make sure you hit that subscribe button on YouTube, hit that like button, leave me a comment, and the same thing goes for Facebook. I know a lot of you have been a little frustrated with the fact that you don't get notified when we go live. So please take a second to just play around on my Facebook page and click the follow button, click the like button, make sure that you're set up for default notifications or all notifications so that you will be notified when we go live and you can jump in with us. So like I said, today we're going to be talking about vanity weight versus reality weight. And what I want to start off with is defining what I think those two things mean for us. So vanity weight, in my opinion, is that weight that we women tend to just pluck out of the sky, and we put that number on us as a means to determining whether we are successful or not with what we're trying to do with our diet or nutrition and what we're trying to do with our fitness goals. So it's usually just an arbitrary weight, or it's a weight that we once were able to maintain from our past, and so we're constantly striving to get back to where we were. And then a reality weight is the weight that when we create a lifestyle that does allow us to look and feel our best and live our life most authentically, that's the weight that we tend to kind of stay steady at. And I always like to say with the reality weight, you want to maintain a plus or minus 5 to 10 pounds. Because as women, we know that our weight is constantly fluctuating. So to be the same exact weight every single day is really unrealistic. And trying to shoot for that same exact weight every day is really goes back to that whole vanity weight goal that a lot of us have. So I'm going to share with you guys a little bit of my personal experience with vanity weight versus reality weight, so you can kind of get a feel for what it is that you might be striving for that's making you feel really frustrated. So my vanity weight is 147 pounds because that is the weight that I was at when I feel like I was at my peak health and fitness. I've been at that weight off and on throughout my adult life as well. So it's sort of that go-to weight that I've always been able to maintain in the past. It was the weight that I was at when I was 44 years old. I was training for a half marathon, and I was knee deep into diets and fitness, or diets and working out is probably the better definition of those things. So my day really looked like this. I would get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I would go to the gym, and I would take a high intensity hour-long fitness class. Then I would come home, I would get the kids ready for school. I was running to school with the kids, so running alongside of them. Then I would come home, I'd usually have something to eat, one of my 6 meals of the day. Then I would usually go hit another class at the gym about about 9 o'clock in the morning. Then I would come home, I would do some work, I would get my running shoes back on, I would run to school, pick up the kids. They were riding their bike to and from school, so I would run alongside of them. Then I would come home, I would eat again. I was eating every 2 hours or whatever. I was stopping at 1,200 calories a day, and I was working out probably 2 to 3 hours a day. I was a fitness professional, so working out like that wasn't unrealistic for us. It's kind of what we did. And I was really undernourishing my body. At 44, I was also perimenopausal, so I was not in any kind of stages of menopause yet. And so I was still able to manipulate my physique and my weight based on extremes of nutrition and working out. Then everything happened with menopause and life as well, because my kids are now teenagers, so I don't run back and forth with them to school. I'm not running around dropping them and picking them off. My lifestyle has also changed in what I do on a daily basis. And so for me, my activity level has decreased, as well as my body chemistry has changed. So 147 is that weight that I pluck out of the sky as like something from my past that what I was able to maintain. But I had to maintain that, or to be able to maintain that, I was at a cost, right? I was constantly working out. I was sweaty all day. I worked out 3 or 4 times a day. And I was very, very meticulous about managing my calories and what I put in my body. And so I wasn't very flexible or flexible at all, and I wasn't very fun, because that is not a very authentic way to live your life. So moving forward, as I started going through menopause and I got sick with pre-diabetic conditions and a lot of the brain fog and insulin resistance, and I wasn't metabolically flexible anymore, I had to learn a new way. And I had to get right in my mind about what a reality weight is for me, and how I can, now as a 54 postmenopausal woman, I can maintain a healthy weight for myself without having to, one, live in fitness clothes or live in a workout type of stage, and so training smart, and how I could use really common sense approaches to my nutrition and balancing out my hormones to get myself into a new set point that really did allow me to look and feel my best. And that weight now for me is about 160 to 165. So I like to live in that plus or minus. And that's a really realistic weight for me. And I know I can almost hear a lot of women gasping at 160 pounds, because for a lot of women, that's a lot of weight. But I'm a 5'10" woman, and I'm very muscular, I'm very athletically built, and 160 pounds really does sit well on my body frame. I can be very fit, I can be very happy at 160 pounds. So for me to lose 15 pounds, to get to that vanity weight, I would be very strict about the lifestyle choices that I made, and I would have to constantly be working out, and I wouldn't be happy and I wouldn't feel very good. I know, because I've tried it. And it's just not an authentic way for me to live. And I'm very confident in my skin at 160 pounds, and 160 to 165. I really do fluctuate between those two. And when I hit that 165 mark, or I feel like I can actually feel when I'm creeping over 165 and don't even have to step on a scale, and a lot of the mindset shift work I've done and the healing that I've done with my relationship with food, I just know when I've loosened the reins enough, that's gonna tip me over the 165 mark on the scale. So I don't even have to weigh myself to figure that out. But I also feel very confident at my new reality weight, because I get to live with my family, and I get to have celebratory occasions, and I get to live a more normal and realistic lifestyle around nutrition and around my fitness priorities, where I can be confident and I can make very wise decisions. Remember, a weight on the scale is never going to be the thing that determines whether you are healthy or not. A weight on a scale is literally just a number that appears on a device when you put your 2 feet on it. And it doesn't take into account body composition. It doesn't take into account health. It doesn't take into account your fitness levels. It's just some number that we have drilled into our psyche from past experiences or something that someone has said to us that really does put us in this box and almost this prison of feeling like we're never going to be successful if we don't achieve that weight. So I want you to think about this if you're that woman who's struggling or feeling like you're constantly chasing a certain number, and ask yourself whether that's a reality weight for you or a reality goal for you, or is it some vanity metrics that you're trying to achieve. And even if it is a vanity metrics, I don't necessarily think that there's anything wrong with that, as long as you're being honest with yourself about why it is you want to achieve that, and can you maintain that vanity weight if you do achieve it? What things are you willing to give up in order to maintain that small victory that you just achieved? And can you mentally and emotionally handle it if you can't? And this is one of those areas that I really try to warn women on when they come to me about extended fasting opportunities or multiple day fasting to lose weight. And this goes back to the conversation that we had on Monday. So if you were with us on Monday, we talked about how to lose 5 pounds this week. And I can tell you, sitting here on a Wednesday, I weighed myself on Monday. I was 170 pounds, so I plussed up the 5 pounds. And today I weighed in at 165. And tomorrow, and toward the end of the week, I'll get back down between my 160, 163. And so I know how to make myself go up, but I also know how to make myself go down. I just went back to my normal lifestyle. I've been fasting every day, Monday, Tuesday, today. Monday I fasted 22 hours. Yesterday I fasted 26 hours. Today I fasted 17 hours. I'm back to my normal nutrition that allows me to look and feel my best and live my life most authentically, and the weight magically disappears. So I know that when I go outside of the norm, I could very easily pick up weight. And when I stay within the norms of my lifestyle that I've created for myself, I can maintain a very realistic weight for myself. And if I go out this side of the box and go extremes this way, I know I can lose extra weight, but how will I maintain that, and what will that do to my psyche if I get to that number and then gain it back? And this is what happens to a lot of women who use intermittent fasting as a means, or fasting in general, as a mean to drop weight quickly. Think about the fact that just in general, food has a density to it, right? So food has a weight factor. So if you're consuming food and it's inside your body and you step on a scale, you are the product of you and your body and the food that you consumed. Well, if you stop eating food completely and you step on a scale, you will weigh less than your normal weight. And is that a reality weight? Because as soon as you go back to eating food, you put the food weight back in your body. So you're always going to have that little extra 1 or 2 pounds that is just called life that you have inside your body that you're carrying around. So I want you to think about that when flexibility in your weight happens, and how do you rationalize that in your own mind, right? And why is it that we are using extremes like multiple day fasting to lose weight, when time and consistency, or just being honest with your everyday habits and activity, is going to tell you the same story, right? You cannot, and my husband said this beautifully to me, if you've taken my intermittent fasting for today's aging woman course, you know about this lesson that I share with you guys. When I was complaining about like my physique in a certain way, or was complaining about how I felt like I needed to lose a few pounds to be better at my running. And my husband said in a very loving way, you're just a couple of bags of avocado oil potato chips away from having your dream body, right? Because what person or what woman who's confidently walking around in her own skin, and more importantly, what postmenopausal woman is confidently walking around in her own skin, who's eating potato chips every day, or cookies every day, or drinking wine every day? Like, the reality is, we just can't do those things and have a dream body, especially when we're in these stages of menopause. So you have to be realistic with what it is you're willing to give up to achieve a weight on the scale, and can you sustain that? Because the drastic loss in weight and then the going back to normal, what that does to our psyche is a really dangerous way to live, because that's what we call yo-yo dieting. And there's a lot of women who are also yo-yo fasting, and it's not a healthy place to live when you're doing it for that quick weight loss, because you'll just gain that weight. It's actually called I think it's called weight regain syndrome. It's a very specific thing that happens to people who do these multiple day water fasts to lose weight quickly. So think about that. Think about how you might be that woman who's feeling constantly unsatisfied with your body composition and what it shows up as when you put 2 feet on a scale, and why is that happening to you? And is that number that you're chasing a vanity weight, something you've just plucked out of thin air, or something that you're using as a gauge of success because of something you achieved in the past when you were a different woman, right? We were different women 20 years ago. And can you come up with the reality weight that you can sustain so that you can honestly wake up every morning looking and feeling your best in your own skin while you still have an opportunity to live your life most authentically. So there's certain things in my life I just won't give up nutrition wise, and the compromise that I have to make is I just weigh a different weight today as a postmenopausal woman than I did 20 years ago when I didn't have kids and I had a more active lifestyle, and my metabolism was just in a different place. So I've also, just so you know, because I'm throwing out a bunch of my weight numbers, and I know you guys are probably freaking out about that, but I am very confident with what my body composition is and what I weigh, that when I was sick with diabetes and I was insulin resistant and I was totally metabolically inflexible, I weighed about 15 pounds more than I weigh now. So that was a big deal for me, having that plus extra 15. And as soon as I incorporated a lifestyle that was realistic for me and one that I could live every day authentically, that 15 pounds has just gone away. Unless I have a celebratory week or we go on vacation, I always pick up a few extra, but I know that as soon as I get back to my normal life, that weight will go away. So think about some of these things if you're struggling or you're feeling a little defeated about what's showing up on the scale. If the scale is something that haunts you, don't use that as a measure of success or failure. Use your eyes, because our eyes never lie to us, especially as women. If you see positive changes, then positive changes are happening. Or use your clothes as a guide. Are your clothes fitting you better? Are your clothes a little snug? And what can you do to just put yourself back into a sense of reality and be honest with what choices that you're making? And can you make some adjustments so that you'll feel better about what's going on? It's super simple to do. You do not need a sophisticated diet. You do not need a sophisticated workout regimen outlined for you. It's all about thinking about what affects you, your happiness, and how it is that you want to live your life, and what does that translate into in your own body composition. And you'll be surprised when you do the mindset work on this, how healthy of an approach you can have with this and maintain something that you want to maintain with your weight, your body composition, and how you look and feel in your clothes every day, just by making some subtle changes. And then for those of you who are feeling completely out of whack metabolically, or you're feeling really frustrated because you're doing all of this and you're not seeing any changes, that is really where intermittent fasting does come in to help us, because it does reset us. And that was the thing that allowed my body to let go of that frustrating 15 pounds that I was holding on to just a few years ago, and build in that time and consistency to keep it off. So I hope this helps you if you're feeling frustrated. Live your life and just let go of that last 5 nagging pounds. Trust me, it's not worth it. And if what you have to do to get rid of those is not a realistic way for you to live, they'll come right back on when you go back to living your reality. So live your life, be happy, and stop chasing a number on the scale that may not be a realistic number for you today. Let me see who's here on Facebook, and I'll answer questions and comments, and then I will jump on over to YouTube and I'll do the same over there for you guys. Amy, girlfriend, it's good to have you with us here today. Renee, 140 is my vanity weight, not there right now though. Yeah, so maybe it's not a realistic weight for you. If it's a vanity weight, that's hard for you to chase. Janice, 2018 grad, good to have you with us. Teresa, she's always here with us. We love having you on our lives, Teresa. Amy, I have lived at my reality weight for over a year now. I haven't been on a scale, but I can tell by the way my clothes are fitting. Last time I weighed myself, I was 157. My vanity weight is 130. I was once 130 when I was 19 years old, but my body was not fit. I was not eating correctly. I didn't think I could ever be 130 pounds, and that is okay. I will strive to live to intermittent fast with fitness and live with authenticity. My only focus truly is to achieve a new shape to my upper thighs and butt. I see how fitness is helping me make those changes. Yeah, for sure, Amy. And you're doing that work, you know. The one thing, Amy, and I'll say this to Amy because she's my cousin, so we come from the same genetic pool, with our legs and that area of our body genetically is always, you know, that thing. If you just look at family pictures, we just look like we're related to all the people in the pictures. You know, you can't spot train necessarily a certain area of your body, but if you notice that that's the area where you tend to hold on to weight more than other areas, then what I always recommend is really concentrating on strength training for those areas, because remember, muscle is super dense and it takes up a lot less space than our body fat does. So body fat is like this and muscle density is like this. So make sure that you're doing some exercises that are focusing on tightening up those muscles so that they just take up less space within your body frame. And then muscle also burns fat, so you're going to have that opportunity to chisel away at some of that stuff too. So you're doing the work, Amy. It'll click in, trust me. But think about that with some strength training, and sometimes it has to be heavier strength, heavier weights with that strength training to pull those muscles in tighter, and they just take up less space. So hopefully that will help you there. Diane, June 2017 grad, good to have you with us. Tina, enjoying the mindset shift course. I'm so happy to hear that. You guys are on day 3. I think today was your happiness day, so hopefully you logged in today and did your work. Sue, I will make my goal my reality weight. I'm losing weight with 20 hours of fasting, but I'm not trying to do it quickly. I'm a June 2020 grad, and I'm in the mindset shift course. I'm loving it. Yeah, Sue, you'll get there. It just takes time. Remember, we have to fix a lot of that metabolic uncertainty that our body has, and our body has to learn to trust us again on this journey. We've put our body through so much desperateness and so many drastic choices and sometimes even dangerous situations with trying to lose weight and reach the ideal body. And trust me, there's no such thing as the ideal body. You just have the body that God gave you, and that's what you have to work with, right? And so if you haven't taken my F3 course, we talk a lot about this, about body image and stuff, and just loving the body that you have and being okay with the shape that it's formatted in, and learning to love your curves. And I love my big legs now. I hated them my whole life, and I feel like I wasted so much time being unhappy with legs that have taken me to a lot of great places in my life, and I pray that they continue to take me to great places. So I've really learned to love some of the parts of my body that I really wasn't happy with as a young woman, because I am grateful that I still have them and they're still working, right? So we have to be grateful for those kind of things as well. DJ, what are good keto supplements, if any? I always say use food first. You want to try to use food to get your nutrition in, and supplements would be that thing that you would use as a last resort. Evanette, F3 course, learning so much. Awesome, girlfriends. You're going to learn a little bit about this stuff in your F3 course. Brenda, my vanity is so unrealistic. I would say let it go. Let it go. And, sometimes you can go for a look over going for a weight as well. So I always try to keep my physique at a very athletic but feminine look, and that is so much easier for me to control and maintain than trying to get a specific weight. And so maybe try to find a look that you like, a look that you've had before, and maybe strive for that, and find your areas where you can manipulate that a little easier, and lean into that, and then just learn to love the areas that maybe are a little more problematic and a little slower to join the fun with you. Renee, Facebook bumped me off, so I'm here. Yay, that's why we have 2 places for you to join us in case one platform is not working for sure. Anita, happy Wednesday, May 2020 IF grad. Robin, January 2020 grad. Anita, I joined late, but will watch again because I needed to hear this. It feels like I can't get past a certain weight. Maybe where I am is my reality weight. Yeah, there's I have to tell you, at the place that I'm at today with my body image, I used to have a horrible relationship with my body, where I'm at with my weight, where I'm at with my lifestyle choices. It's really fun, and it's very energetic to love like reality, right? And it's exhausting and can be very draining mentally and emotionally and physically as well, trying to achieve something that might not be achievable. And why are we just not okay with that? And we got to make sure that the people that we're going to for inspiration and hope, or maybe just even imagery to try to attain something, we have to make sure that that's realistic as well. And you have to understand what that person is doing to achieve that look that you might be aspiring to achieve, because oftentimes they might be doing something that you're not willing to do, right? And so we have to make sure that we're checking in on that as well. Are we willing to do what other people are doing to achieve a certain weight? And this reality hit me. I am a huge Jennifer Aniston fan. I still am a huge Jennifer Aniston fan. But I read in a magazine somewhere that, she smoked cigarettes to maintain a certain weight. hey, you got to do what you got to do. I guess she had to lose a bunch of weight for some role she was cast for or something. I don't know. But that was her personal choice, and she made that. And I thought, okay, how can I aspire to look like someone when I would not be willing, I personally would not be willing to do that. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's what I read. I would not be willing to smoke cigarettes to suppress my appetite to look a certain way. And so we have to make sure that we are realistic with that information as well, right? Are you willing to go on diet pills? Are you willing to do hormone therapy type of treatments? Are you willing to put yourself at risk to achieve a certain look or a certain weight, knowing that that's just going to be temporary and the risk that you're taking could be permanent? So be realistic about that as well. And why is it that we're trying to strive to be these ultra skinny women? Still, at this stage of the game, we know better than that. Why can't we just settle for healthy and fit, right? Healthy and active, healthy and happy. Why can't those be the parameters that we use to judge the weight that we're striving for, or just let weight go altogether? And if you're happy and healthy, how come that can't be enough for us? And we got to think about those kind of things as well. Christy, hello, girlfriend. October 2017 alum, currently in the midlife mindset shift course and loving it. Awesome, girlfriend. I love to hear that feedback from you guys. Cindy, how do you balance a healthy weight for yourself when it doesn't jive with what the doctor has asked you to be a healthy weight range? Ideas, thanks. I don't really care what my doctor thinks I should weigh. I'm healthy by all the biomarkers of what health is as far as blood work and stuff goes. So those weight charts are very outdated. So if your doctor is like doing one of these and telling you that you weigh too much, it's probably an outdated chart. So if you're healthy and you're fit, there's things that you can do. You can do the calcium cardiac test. You can get all your blood biomarkers done. You can check your insulin resistance and see if you're insulin resistant. There's heart rate monitors or parameters we can check to see if we're heart healthy. All of those things matter more than a number on a chart. So I would say if you can look yourself in the mirror and honestly say that you are making healthy lifestyle choices and you're happy, then you're in a healthy weight. Because what you have to do to achieve the weight that your doctor wants you to be at might not make you happy and might not make you mentally healthy, right? So you have to always go and err on the side of common sense. And does the weight that your doctor wants you to achieve, is it common sense for you? Or is he just reading a number? Is he doing one of these, like you're this high, you're that, like, so if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. And so I always say we have the right to make the final decision about that for ourselves as well. Anita, yes, my clothes are nicer than my scale at times. Yes, for sure. And really, that's all that matters, right? So when you throw on those jeans or you put on those shorts or you go put your little, tank top dress on to go hang out outside and you feel good in your skin, girlfriend, you are winning the day, especially for us women, because we are so hypercritical of ourselves that when you get dressed and you feel good and you like the way you look, you are winning the day. So pay attention to that as well, and don't let the scale take that win away from you. Don't get on the scale on that day if the number on the scale is going to throw you off. Win the day that you feel good in your skin, for sure. So I'm glad that you said that, Cindy. That is a great point for sure. Anita, yes, or Anita said that. So sorry about that. Great point, Anita, for sure. Robin, life-giving words from a beautiful soul. Oh, thank you so much, Robin. I appreciate that. Marianne, really needed to hear this today. Big thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. I'm a woman too. I go through all of these things that you guys go through and all these struggles as well. And I can tell you, over the past 4 or 5 years, I've really done a lot of soul searching, and I've really done a lot of work on my mindset, and I've really done a lot of work on the emotional relationship I have with myself and my body and my weight. And it's very, very freeing, and it's very refreshing to be okay. Just be okay. And to really stop chasing a weight. And if you don't like the way I look, I don't care. Don't hang out with me. It's not a big deal to me. And no matter how perfect I think I look, there's always going to be someone who's critical. And however imperfect I think I look, there's always going to be someone who thinks I look great. So remember, don't care about what other people think. How do you think about yourself? And can you honestly look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm doing all the right things and I feel good about that? And if you can do that for yourself, then you got to forget about what everybody else is saying, for sure. Danny, good to see you, Diane. Great topic. Hello, Michael.
Hi, Danny.
Michael always appreciates that. Danny, she's a 2018 grad. DJ, thank you. I have signed up for the August course. Awesome. Can't wait to have you guys. And then Susan S. So true. The mirror tells you more than the scales. The mirror tells you more than the scales, and then what you think about what you're seeing in the mirror will tell you more than the scales too. So learn how to love yourself. Learn how to speak to yourself kindly. Learn how to appreciate all the parts of your body, so that you can just enjoy life, right? Because we've spent too many years beating ourselves up and being unhappy, and we can never get that time back. So start enjoying yourself today in the skin that you're in, for sure. Sue, I will make my goal my reality weight. I'm losing weight with, okay, sure, I already read that one. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Okay. So for those of you, yes, I realize I am not contractually obligated to be very thin. No, and it's no fun anyways, you know. You have to give up too much of your life. I always say I will never, ever again be that girl at the party who's sulking in the corner because I'm not allowed to eat things, or I'm not allowed to drink things, or I'm not allowed to have any more calories or any of those kind of things. I make very conscious choices based on what I want to do in my day and how I want to live my life, and I choose what I'm allowed to do. No diet's going to determine that. No doctor's going to determine that. No trying to please anybody else is going to determine that. It's all up to me to make those conscious choices for myself. So when I lay my head down at night, I have things that I can be grateful for, right? And that's the ultimate goal, is to be happy and grateful for the things that we're blessed with, for sure. Okay, so for those of you who joined us for the Midlife Mindset Shift course, we have our first live coaching call tomorrow. I'm so excited to get to see all your beautiful faces in our live Zoom call tomorrow night. We have officially closed the Midlife Mindset Shift course, so no more late entries. If you slid in, congratulations. If you missed it, sorry. We'll catch you next time. And for those of you who are interested in joining our Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course, we will open up registration next weekend. So I'm super excited for all of you. I know you're anxious to get registered and get in and started with us. We will officially start that on August the 1st. Make sure you're on my email list so you'll be notified when we open up registration. And then just love the skin you're in, you guys. Really try to find things about you and your body that you love. And you know what? It's okay if there's parts of your body you don't love either. Just learn to like those. They're taking you places, I'm sure, and are bringing a lot of memory-making opportunities for you. So learn to just be happy with the skin that you're in and love yourself every day. And make decisions that will allow you to look and feel your best and live your life most authentically. I will see you guys on Monday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. We'll have another live community discussion and post a rebroadcast for those of you who are joining us on the rebroadcast. Have a great weekend, you guys. I'll see you guys on Monday.